Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of First and Last. I am Josh, and with me this week is Joe.
Hey, man.
And Jimmy.
I'm Jimmy.
Here you are, Spaghetti Jimmy.
Oh, no! Why?
We just ordered Chipotle to get ordered to us, delivered to us. However, asking someone...
Like kings.
However, asking a stranger works to go give you food works. That's what we did, and... your name on the burrito might be Spaghetti J.
Oh.
But here's the deal. Chipotle, just like Starbucks, there is no possible way they're spelling Spaghetti J probably at all, or B correctly.
I'm just going to put SJ.
They're probably not even going to do that. I mean, every time you put names in the things, I just see like burrito 1, burrito 2. Order 1, order 2, order 3. So
Yeah, they're not taking
Like,
time
whatever.
to...
I don't care about your names, customers.
I spelt it out correctly on the order form.
Yeah. I remember one time, under special instructions, I forget where I did this, but I wrote, please draw a picture of a cat on the bag. And they just, it was not a good picture of a cat, but they just took a Sharpie and drew a cat on the bag.
Well, I mean, you didn't say, hire a fucking artist. And
I mean, do you tip extra for cats?
No, I did not.
Man.
But...
Sad day.
Well, I want to start doing that. When we start ordering things for the podcast nights or whatever, let's try to see what we can get people to draw. Like when we order pizza next time, draw a hot dog on the pizza box.
Yeah.
Something.
Just to check to see if they're reading the instructions.
Yeah, draw a bowl of spaghetti on the bag when you order from a sandwich shop.
Draw a plate of spaghetti.
Whoever is taking this order, draw one of your worst fears on my hoagie.
How do you draw drowning?
And that's what the guy's going to figure it out, and he's going to come to terms with it. And he's going to say, you know what? Water isn't that scary.
And we fixed a person.
And then we fixed a person and got a fun drawing.
Man.
So when did the burritos get here?
Well, according to that, they get here in 20 minutes, but that's not
I'm
true.
hungry.
I've never had Chipotle delivered. This is going to be weird.
It does say that the lady or the man, I guess I don't know who's delivering it. It didn't tell me a name. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, it's Rami? Rami and Michelle's high school
French.
reunion.
Mm-hmm.
What is that movie?
Yeah.
They're at the restaurant, so.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you after the pilot of whatever show.
Gotta get rolling. See ya.
Did you want to know what?
Yeah, you didn't tell us what show this is.
Okay, so this is not a Christmas show, even though Christmas will be next week.
Christmas is nigh.
This episode, yeah, it's coming down hard. But this is episode 66. Is that correct?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
6, but just the 2.
Yeah. So is this kind of a scary show?
So it might be kind of a scary show-ish. The show is Robert Rodriguez's From Dusk Till Dawn.
That's a show?
Which is the series.
They made it
I should
series.
say the series. That's in the title. And from his network, El Rey.
Are we going to have the longest fucking title? It's FNL episode 66, Robert Rodriguez is From Dusk Till Dawn, the series.
No, Robert Rodriguez is not in
So
in
many
the title.
colons.
Weirdly enough, because this is his show based on his movie on his network El Rey, which you have to go to extra special lengths to get on your cable package or whatever. I had a roommate try to do it, and she was trying to convince us to pay an extra $40 a month for this network that had about 4
Specifically
of its own.
for El Rey?
Yeah, super indie. I feel like Robert Rodriguez fans go really hard for...
I mean, he's great.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Did they just show this show and Desperado?
It was
back to back.
Yeah. El Mariachi.
I'm a Mexican.
The Spy Kids movies.
Spy Kids series?
No, they did have some... I think they have some paid for programming that's just other channels that are, I assume, shows that they put into Spanish.
Okay.
And then the Lucha... What is it?
Lucha Underground?
Yeah. That's like one of their shows.
Is that why you were asking about? You were asking about. I was like, why are you asking about like wrestling?
Yeah, I was
stuff?
looking up like what other like actual programming. They also had like a director's behind the or in the director's chair or something, which featured like Quentin Tarantino because he's, they're like buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Because Quentin Tarantino was in this movie with George Clooney.
I've never seen the movie.
Kloonster.
Oh, it's great. It's actually a lot of people
vampires
in it.
or zombies or something.
Vampires and Clooney and
Who's the
it's
other
guy
guy?
from Cheech and Chong, Cheech Marin.
It's
do you mean, the
Clooney
other
and Quentin Tarantino is the other
Yeah.
star, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
so okay. I've seen.
They're
Juliette
Clooney
Lewis.
plays Dusk and Tarantino is Don.
Oh, God.
I've seen. I feel like I've probably seen the entire movie, but I saw the movie. I know I've seen the movie until they get to the place where they're like, "Oh, this is like a vampire movie," and not just like
Yeah.
they're running from the law movie.
I feel like the first like 2/3 of this movie is that they like rob a bank and are just running from the law, and then it's just a normal film, and then all of a sudden
And then
there's vampires for some reason.
Well, and then Dusk and Dawn go to a bar and they meet vampires.
Yeah.
Two brothers, Dusk and Donald.
And they meet two, and they meet two vampire brothers, Robert and Rodriguez.
Oh man. And what's the one guy who's in all Robert Rodriguez movies?
Danny Trejo.
The Machete. Is that?
Is he the machete guy?
Yeah.
Then it's Danny Trejo.
Yeah. He's great.
He was in that movie too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is he in the series?
I don't know.
How long
I
did
don't
the series run?
I think it's just 3 seasons, 2014 to 2016.
Okay. Cool.
Neato.
And I do know that this episode is called Pilot,
Of course.
which is outrageous because it's his show on his network. He definitely could. I'm actually with Josh on this one.
He's like, oh, we're gonna run this for a season. We're like, are you sure, Robert Rodriguez? maybe we should put this as a pilot. And he's like, it's my channel. Yeah, but let's just feel it out. Let's just name this one Pilot.
He probably pitched it to like FX and like A&E.
Yeah,
And
that's
then when he
probably
couldn't
true.
get it, he was like, I'll make my own channel.
And then when he did it and put it on his own channel, he didn't take 4 seconds and go, what should I just name the first episode of my obviously running TV show that I'm making?
Yeah.
Pilot. Oh, it's Pilot.
Or maybe
It's about a pilot.
Maybe it's about a pilot.
Maybe they're in a pie shop.
Oh, shit. Is this Pie World?
Maybe this
Don
episode
is-
1.
Are the
Stole
two
the
main
entire
characters
premise.
in Pie World Dawn and Dusk? Man,
Yeah,
this
sure.
This damn show just writes itself.
Yeah. Plus pies.
So who's the owner of Pie World, Dawn or Dusk? Are they married? Are
Yeah,
they
I think
siblings?
I think they're co-owners. They're brothers.
Brothers. Oh, they're both brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're not thinking Dawn as in DAWN, like a
No,
woman
like
Dawn.
D-O, like Donald.
Donald? Okay.
Donald and Dusk.
This is just wings in a pie
Rodriguez.
shop.
Yeah, they should sell wings
I
in
mean,
a pie shop. That'd be great.
If it's
Ooh.
wings in a pie shop, that means we
I
get
want wings now. I changed my order.
if it's wings in a pie shop, that means we get a Frasier episode. So I'm in.
Ooh.
Frasier's like, I need pies. Lilith is mad.
Will you call up Romy? What's her name? Remy? Tell her to swing by the grocery store. We need a pie
And some wings.
and some wings.
Wings.
Preheat the oven. to
Choose your own flavors.
425.
Just bring it.
Wait, isn't there like a little B-dubs now?
In Uptown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have her swing by B-dubs.
There's also that like Korean like wing place, like
Ooh.
Jontron or whatever.
That's a YouTuber.
That's a YouTuber.
Bonchan?
You talking about Hoban?
No, there's like a Korean wing spot.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Huh.
It's like next to Stella.
I would tell you right now, most people listening don't care what restaurants are in Uptown
Don
Minneapolis.
Juan.
They love it.
Yeah,
Trying to bring it back to Hispanic stuff.
Great.
fair enough. Do you think this like last week's episode where Limitless was a take like after the movie? Do you think this takes place after the movie or before
yeah.
it, or like it's still in the same universe? Like, how could it not be in the same universe?
Oh yeah, it's gotta be.
Oh no, I think it's completely new.
Yeah,
Yeah, separate universe,
just still vampires.
just retelling the same story, but now in TV series form.
Okay, I could see that. So Dusk and Dawn are still
Okay.
running from the law.
Yeah,
I want it to be in like the same universe, but I think it's gonna start in like Mexico instead of like someone running to Mexico and then happening upon the bar. I think it revolves around the vampires from the get-go.
Okay.
The bar? There's a bar?
So in the movie they like the George and Quentin are like on the run and they like end up in this bar and then they kind of slowly realize that something's not right in the bar and then slowly everyone in the bar turns into vampires and then they're just fighting vampires. I'm pretty sure. Am I remembering this correctly?
Something like that.
Know? Oh, you said you've seen up until that part.
No,
right?
I saw the reveal of there was vampires.
All right.
At least.
So I think we're already the characters we know, like we see, already know that they are vampires in Mexico or whatever. I'm just assuming that because this is El Rey, everything is just already taking place in Mexico.
We see.
And Cheech Marin. I think Cheech Marin is in this and is the only one from the movie. Because what else is he doing, you know?
You don't think George Clooney's in this?
Man, that'd be amazing.
What are the odds Bradley Cooper's in this too?
I bet there are good odds that Quentin Tarantino's in this.
At least in a cameo or something.
Yeah.
First up cameo. Yo, I need hey, Quentin, can you be in my pilot on the show that's on my network? Because I really want it to get picked up.
I need this win.
I need this. I need this.
The network is still a thing. I was actually half expecting the network to not exist already anymore. But because from what I understand, it's also really like, what's his other like planet?
What?
Not sorry, he doesn't have a planet. His movie
planet?
That's like
Planet Terror.
Yeah, I feel like from what I understand, a lot of the content of this network has like that kind of vibe.
Oh, like Grindhouse stuff?
Grindhouse, that's what I'm looking for. So like, how much of that does the world need? I mean, I feel like Grindhouse folks, there's like this kind of like in a cult, following of Grindhouse. So those people are just keeping this alive.
I mean, they got $40.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just comes in the package, whatever.
Yeah. And lucha lovers.
I think Vampire's gonna get burned up in the sun in this episode. That's all I think about this.
So
they're gonna say, "Hey, this is how vampires work," even though everybody knows that, and that's just like, what's gonna happen?
I think there's going to be a main character wearing a necklace of garlic at all times. Most times.
It doesn't seem like he's gonna interact with the vampires very much. Then
no, he's gonna be alive.
Fair enough. Joe, you got anything?
I think they're gonna shimmer in the sun instead of burn up.
You think this is Twilight?
They just glitter like diamonds.
Diamonds. Cool. Should we just do it?
Yeah.
Should we just do Dawn and Dusk?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Hey, we're gonna see you guys after the pilot of Robert Rodriguez's the series Dawn from Dusk, the show. See you after that. All right, we are back from Robert Rodriguez's The Show from Dusk Till Dawn, the series on the El Rey Network.
Brought to you by Arby's.
we have the vampires.
Couldn't it have been like Taco John's or something like that?
No, that's racist.
Well,
oh,
I get it.
Is that not what you were going for?
That's exactly what I was going for.
All right.
I wasn't going for racism. I was going for like it's a Tex-Mex restaurant technically.
And this is a Tex-Mex show.
And this show is a little Tex and a little Mex.
Yikes.
No? All right. You got a write-up?
Is Taco John's the ones with where you get little potatoes that you can like dip in cheese?
Yeah,
Oh,
potato
yeah.
Olays.
You gotta get
That's
the
great.
Olays.
I've only been to a Taco John's like once.
There's not a Taco John's like anywhere near where we live.
Yeah.
And there's one like maybe 20 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
Worth it.
And I'm like, man, I really want to go get like a 6-pack and a pound.
What? A 6-pack and a pound?
It's a 6 soft shell or 6 tacos and then a pound of those potatoes.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah, I know.
Like Taco Bell had fries for a little bit. That was great too.
Yeah, but they were no potato olays.
True, but I feel like anytime you add fries or like just fried potatoes to any like, there's like a Indian restaurant by my work and like it's just the buffet. But a couple times they've just like had fries as like one of the items in the buffet, and like that is fucking fantastic. You put some like goat curry, like just like drape it over fries. That's, whew.
You're making like your own, like, what is it called? The Canadian dish?
Poutine?
Oh yeah, it's like Indian poutine.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I'd eat it. Curry poutine? Yeah, it sounds dope. Did you want me to read the thing now?
Yeah, I want you to read the thing now.
So this is the pilot of From Dusk Till Dawn, the series, March 11th, 2014. Somewhere in a jungle, a terrified woman is being chased by some tribesmen. I forgot
about that.
I never forget.
That had nothing to do with...
There was an image burned into my mind, so I'll never forget.
All right, she is caught and thrown into a pit of snakes that repeatedly bite her until a giant python slithers into her mouth. I don't know if slithers is the correct...
It like shot into
It
her mouth.
dove directly...
It was like a man diving down a human-sized hole. It just went whoop, like
Yeah,
right in.
that was the image that stuck in my brain.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's some news article this week about like an eel that got stuck in a seal's nose. Like that's been burned in my brain.
What? Is this The Onion?
No, I don't know. It's
Huh.
anyways.
Just scrolling across the like MSN.com homepage.
Yeah, so I can't get that out of my head. Now I can't get this image of this anaconda stuck in this girl's mouth out of my head.
Oh man.
But the anaconda don't want none unless she's got buns, hun.
Yeah.
I didn't see her.
Dove straight through the mouth to the buns.
She was laying on her
to the rectum.
She was laying on her
It
back.
looked like
so we
it dove
didn't-
that far deep, really.
Couldn't see her booty. Keep going, Jimmy.
I'm sure it was great. Elsewhere, Richie Gecko breaks his brother Seth out of jail, and the two set off on a crime spree. They rob a bank, killing 4 Texas Rangers and 2 police officers in the process, and stop at Benny's World of Liquor. Rangers Earl McGraw and Freddie Gonzalez arrive, and a bloody standoff ensues. Richie has visions of demons and a mysterious woman who appears to be the woman from the jungle. Oh.
Yeah,
so
I put
what,
that together.
Okay, so it was a different girl. So
Yeah.
there was that one girl in the pink that was like just there,
Yeah.
and then she like was looking through the glass of the refrigerator or whatever,
uh-huh.
and then it all of a sudden she like wasn't wearing clothes, like and was like something bad, and then I was like she looks like a completely different girl,
Yeah.
and I just assumed
It
like
was, yeah.
her hair was different and she wasn't wearing clothes, so therefore she looked different, you know. But then another time it happened where I was like, is it how many different girls are just talking to this man? 2. Apparently it was 2.
Okay, so she was appearing to him, beckoning him from beyond. Yeah, well, it was weird too because he was also like hallucinating monsters.
Yeah.
like these 2 women
Demons,
that
yeah.
they'd kidnapped. So, did that correlate to Snake Lady?
No,
Jungle-
comment.
I mean,
Jungle
No
Snake?
comment.
Well, yeah.
Or is that just him being crazy? Okay. Okay, so then Seth learns from this drug lord Carlos, apparently, that the geckos must reach the Mexican border on their own. He's not going to help them out on their run, their escape to Mexico.
Their plan was to go somewhere and get picked up by a helicopter, but then when they call their boss in Mexico, they find out that they have to go down to the border by themselves.
Yeah.
Was that it for the write-up?
That was it for the write-ups,
Okay.
but definitely I feel like we found out more things.
Yeah, so it ties up with these 2 brothers that robbed a bank. They're like stuck at this liquor store because the Rangers came in. They shot one of the older Ranger, and then there's a standoff, and eventually they kill the old Ranger, let the 2 girls walk, and then they drive off, and the younger Ranger has vowed to find them and kill them.
Well, and
Yeah,
they think that Frederico
Frederico, yeah.
is.
they think they killed him.
They think they killed him.
Oh yeah, they think he's dead. Yeah.
So they leave and all the dudes are dead, and then they just didn't care about
The
two girls.
the two brothers are heading towards a bar by the border, which seems like that's like where the movie picks up, or
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if any of this stuff in this happened in the movie.
I don't know if this whole part right here took place in the movie, but they're like, because they like rob the bank and then they run to like, I think it's a bar / like truck stop or something in the movie, and then that's where like the movie, like that's where the monsters.
That's where the craziness comes in.
Yeah.
But that's like well into the movie when that happens.
So I'm assuming that that's what they're doing.
I'm pretty sure you see the movie starts with the bank robbery.
Bank robbing.
Whatever they do.
Bank Robbie Rodriguez.
They rob you the bank. I want to say that Quentin Tarantino's hand does get shot though.
I feel
like
it
that's
does.
a thing.
Yeah, I think his hands like
I
wrapped
feel like
up.
that was a tie-in. Felt like one.
I mean, you're gonna highlight the fact that one of your main characters like pretty much has a disability now because he has a hole in his hand.
Yeah.
Probably
Gonna be bitching about that throughout the next several episodes.
like that he gave him duct tape. My first thought was when they were leaving the liquor store or whatever, he like threw like a lighter to like set it on fire.
Yeah.
And I was like, why didn't you just take like a minute so he could like go to the sink and like wash it out quick? You know,
or they gotta get going.
Find like a piece of cloth to like wrap it in, or take 2 minutes and do some first aid. Instead, they walked out and he handed him a roll of duct tape.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more badass that way, but not practical.
No, go wash somewhere else. You got to get going. Also, that bathroom was disgusting. Like, you can go wash somewhere else.
That's a good point. It was pretty. We spent a lot of time in this bathroom in this episode. People kept coming in and out of the bathroom. Don Johnson was in there, who was the old sheriff.
They just kept having like robber meetings in the bathroom or something. Like they just kept coming out of the bathroom. It's like, are you just leaving everybody out in the store by themselves? And you're just in there. Well,
and like they just let those two girls walk, which I was surprised about. Like, I guess they're on the run anyway, but like, you know, they can describe what you look like what your names are. I mean, I guess they know who they are.
I feel like everybody knows what they look like.
Yeah, they're just trying to get away anyway, but still,
they're two like white dudes in suits, or like black and white suits, you know. So
yeah. But we heard over like the police dispatch, like the Gecko brothers, blah blah blah. Like, so they're known.
They're notorious for robberies.
Really liked how these two girls did not seem to be phased at all by the death and destruction around them. Like the standoff is over. Lots of people are dead. Like Pete, the liquor store guy, old cop, presumably young cop, and they're just standing up, kicking the Tarantino brother who's on the ground hallucinating and thinks he's being kicked by monsters.
Yeah.
And they're just like to the other brother, like, dude, your brother's screwed up. And then they just walk.
They just witnessed like 3 potential murders, and they're just
a
like,
normal day.
Your brother he's awkward. He is socially awkward. This was a weird day.
Cannot emphasize enough.
See you later.
Something wrong with him. He should be checked out. It's very odd. Liked it though.
It was good. Yeah, very violent.
I was surprised that going into this, I thought like the brothers who robbed the bank, I thought they were gonna be like the heroes of this show, but it seems like the young cop Frederico is. I mean, I think the two brothers will still be like main characters, and like once we get into the vampire stuff, they'll be kind of like anti-heroes,
right?
But I didn't expect to like dislike them that much in the first episode. Like they're clearly like bad dudes in this episode,
right?
Then there's gonna be presumably there's obviously some sort of, you'd think there'd be like a rift or something like that's gonna happen between like Seth and Richard, because like Richie's very crazy,
right?
Right. And Seth's just like,
I got predicts.
I just don't want to die. So I think they did a good job of like setting up their relationship, kind of how they work. But they'll like do anything for each other. But Seth's like, I gotta watch you. You're weird.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering how much, because obviously like everyone, presumably most people watching this show would know of the movie Dusk Till Dawn, start watching it, know that there's like a vampire stuff because they set up like supernatural crap a little bit, but they're
We're
just
at the
like
beginning with the
nah, we're not going to give you a vampire.
with the Aztec stuff, or what is that? Mayan, Aztec? What's the difference?
Both. Mayans have the calendar.
Ah, right.
Aboriginal is what you were going for.
Aztecs are the like ones who like do all the sacrifices and stuff. Is that right?
They sacrifice some people.
Like you do.
You know,
I mean, who doesn't?
you got a pit. What else are you gonna do with your pit of snakes, Jimmy?
It was good. Oh, also wanted to say, bring attention to that Carlos is Fez
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
from that 70s show. What's his name?
Wilmer Valderrama.
Man.
Yeah. He's got some facial hair now.
Yeah, I
Looks
like it.
tough.
I like him.
He does not look like Fez. Like, I mean, I had to like stare at him once you. If you never would have said that, there's no way I would have known that.
Yeah.
I like recognized his voice. Like he has
his voice
specific
was the most
speech
distinctive thing, yeah.
pattern.
I didn't know. It wasn't there. And then you said it. I'm like, I can see it. Okay, I can see it. And then I looked it up on IMDb just to make sure you weren't fucking with me.
Come on, man. I already had looked at the cast.
I mean, obviously.
I mean, once I heard his voice.
Well, you're just like, is that Don Johnson?
Well, yeah, I knew that was Don Johnson.
What's Don Johnson from?
Well, he was big in a show called Nash Bridges, which we should definitely do. It's just like a Blue Bloods crime show. He might have been Southern.
I thought he was in like Miami Vice or something. Or
Probably.
one of those, like, older cop shows.
I'll look it up.
Donald Johnson. From Don to Johnson.
That just sounds like a porn.
Yeah, yikes.
From Justin to Kelly.
J2K?
And the sequel, J2K2. To
Are they
Justin
gonna-
to Kelly.
How's this going to be 3 seasons long? I mean, it's just going to be their
Yeah.
journey, right? I feel like it's just going to be their journey. Like season 1, I mean, I could see season 1 like ending when they finally like maybe get to where the bar is that they're trying to go to. It's all
Oh,
season
really?
1 is just them going there, and then season 2
the
is
shenanigans.
and is them there, and then season 3 is on the moon. I don't know.
Yeah, I was envisioning this going like way beyond the movie. Like they do the bar
Yeah.
stuff in like episode 2, and then after that, it's like just all whole new stuff for even the rest of the season 1.
I mean, okay, so you're accelerating even faster than I am.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because it seems like they like.
I mean,
you know,
the-
trying to get deep into this vampire stuff.
They're
so-
probably trying to get deep into it, but I mean, they spent an entire episode just in one room, essentially.
Yeah.
So, like,
So you think I could spend a season at the bar?
Why
Each
not?
episode in a different booth.
different, yeah. There's like, oh, how many booths we got? 13? Cool. Let's make it 13 episodes.
Meet 13 different vampires.
It's just interview with a vampire. Every single episode is a different one. Hey, what's up? I'm vampire number 4. I enjoy blood, drinking blood, swimming in blood, extracting blood from humans, and golf. Night golf.
Seems like it'd be hard. It would fuck with your depth perception.
I mean, there's no way you couldn't make depth perception, yeah.
Yeah.
But they got glow in the dark golf balls, right?
Yeah, you can make it happen.
Night goggles, night vision.
You just dip it in, like, there's like glowy substance. You just dip your golf ball in it, and then it just glows. They just light them on fire. I want to play night golf.
Well, you ever played like mini golf in one of those places that's like glow in the dark mini golf?
Oh yeah, like blacklit.
Like
yeah,
golf,
blacklight.
like cosmic mini golf.
Yeah. I've done that. That's hard.
I haven't played mini golf in a really long time. I'd like to go mini golf.
Yeah.
I want to go first and last mini golf experience.
One of me and Claire's like early dates was mini golf, and we tied.
Oh, who
Yeah.
did you let her tie?
No, I was really trying to win. You're gonna let someone win on a date? What is that? It's a bad way to start a relationship.
Starting off by
On a lie.
Yeah.
No, Claire, you're really good at mini golf.
You don't have to
That's
like,
really bad.
you don't like let him win, but you like don't have to like try to win either. You know.
No, I was trying to win.
All right.
Joe wasn't even like bouncing out shit. He was just like, straight lines are gonna get this. Joe was like, I got an A in trig. You done. I know how this works. What do you got, Jimmy? You looking up some Don Johnson stuff?
Don Johnson was in he was in there's a G.I. Joe the movie from 1987. Must be animated.
There's other G.I. Joe movies.
Well, yeah, but
starring The Rock.
87. Yeah, he was big from Miami Vice.
Cool.
He's also in, he was like, I think he was kind of an antagonist in Tin Cup.
Ooh, like
speaking of golf.
Kevin Costner?
Yeah. Also, he was, I'm pretty sure, one of the big baddie guys in Django Unchained.
Okay.
The Quentin.
DJ Ango?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Which is that must have been before. It was a couple years before this. So. Probably his right?
So one thing we haven't talked about is so there's that ritual sacrifice in the beginning with the girl and the snake in her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what do you think is the deal with that girl and the snake in her mouth?
I mean, I assume she's like
a vampire.
Yeah, well, she's probably like the mother of the beasts or something. Like something like that. Like,
yeah,
she got tortured to death, or like
she becomes like the vessel for like the queen vampire.
Yeah, so I just kind of assume like she's like queen or mother.
So was she like speaking through that girl in the liquor store?
That's what my assumption was.
And is like luring them to Mexico.
And for some reason, yeah, she's like super into Richard. Maybe just because he's like, ooh, he's super unhinged. So like, he can see like he's.
She has a thing for damaged goods.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Or can she like smell his blood? He's got like real sweet blood,
real pure. So that would be my guess.
Maybe she needs a virgin. Maybe he's still a virgin. He's pretty weird, right?
He's a weird dude, yeah.
Probably an instant. Probably
not getting past a lot of first dates.
He's got glasses. Girls don't make passes at dudes with glasses.
Is that a lyric?
Looking at you, Jim.
Damn it.
He's the only one of us that's married.
It's because he like took his glasses off for his entire relationship and tried to
pretty
pretend like he
recently
could
had to
see.
get glasses.
He walked up. I was at the wedding. He walked up onto the altar to get married, and he put glasses on. And the guy was like, "And Michelle, do you say I do?" And she was like, "Fuck, I can't say no." Like,
I've been duped. He was nearsighted this whole time.
I've been duped. She just screams that at the altar.
Joke's on you guys. I didn't get glasses till a couple months after the wedding.
Oh,
I needed them at the time.
Yeah, you needed them for a long time.
Couldn't afford them. Let's get married.
Hey guys, yeah. Some financial advice from the first and lasters. Can't afford glasses? Get married.
Put them on the registry.
can't see? Don't worry, just squint.
Doctor says don't drive at night. Fuck him. What does he know?
He's a doctor. He's not a driving instructor.
Yikes.
He didn't give you the license. Predictions?
Yeah.
I want to go first this time because mine are
fine.
Mine are spot on. Number one, Frederico is now a vampire.
Okay.
Pretty good, right?
Like a good vampire? Bad vampire?
I mean, are all vampires bad?
I don't think so. Not necessarily.
They're
No,
like
Kate, what's her name?
Winslet?
No. Shit. Underworld lady? She's a vampire, right?
Oh,
she's good.
Starts with the B.
She's the protagonist.
Beckinsale.
I've never seen Underworld.
Well, you nailed the name. You said Underworld very well. So Frederico is a vampire. Number two, I think. Well, so I'll read what I wrote and then I'll explain it. I said Seth and Richard die.
Okay.
Dash edit. I think Seth is still alive and he kills Richard.
Okay.
So I think in the end, two brothers, one's dead. It's Richard's dead because Seth killed him.
Okay.
Richard's the weird one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if that's not, and if I'm wrong and the names are mixed up, the weird one gets killed by the other one.
Okay.
I think there will be some sort of scene or something involving a sexy vampire succubus type lady.
Sure. Yeah.
I can see that. And then my fourth one is bazooka.
You're just gonna see a bazooka.
I think a bazooka is gonna make things blow up.
Okay.
Right.
Just for like definition's sake, a bazooka is like a big gun that fires an explosive.
I mean, sure. I mean, well, can argue like I would say if a grenade launcher happened, I'm wrong.
Okay.
But if it's like an RPG or like something shooting like a missile, essentially, a handheld missile shooter,
Cool.
that's what I'm calling a bazooka.
All right.
And I know what the difference between a bazooka and a grenade launcher is. So the grenade launcher, I'll accept it, and I lose.
Bazooka's what Dwight shoots in as bachelor party that Jim brings him to.
Oh yeah,
It's the very last
The
episode.
artillery on a bazooka
Just
explodes
watched that
upon
last
impact, whereas a grenade launcher doesn't explode on impact.
unless you time it out correctly.
Yeah. Okay.
Where do we stand on mortars?
That's more artillery,
Mhm.
and I wouldn't consider
It's not
bazooka.
handheld, I don't think.
I wouldn't consider a bazooka or a grenade artillery.
Yeah. I have that. The big bad of the show is a lady vampire.
I agree.
Yeah.
I hope she's also a sexy succubus type.
Yeah, probably, right? Like,
How could
I'm
she
just,
not
I'm
be?
just imagining like what a non-sexy vampire would look like. I don't think that exists.
I want her, male or female. Like
Yeah,
most vampires are just like good looking.
You got fang teeth, like it's gonna be be good looking.
Joe's into it. Claire's got a pair. She pops in every once in a while.
We've already established Joe's into some weird, spooky, sexy stuff.
I would like that. There's a big bad like girl like vampire like Joe said, and then we all like watch it and agree. We're like not into her, not sexy.
Yeah.
Not.
I have that there's a piccolo vampire. We haven't had a piccolo. in a
We haven't
while,
had a
but
piccolo in a while.
There's like a full-on vampire that's
That
like
would be Frederico
with the brothers. Yeah, I think it's someone we haven't met though.
Okay.
Probably a woman, but wasn't in my prediction. I have that Frederico is the sole survivor of like the characters we saw in the pilot. So like the two brothers will be dead.
Question: if he's a vampire, is he a survivor?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he's undead.
Yeah, he's a survivor.
We'll talk when that happens.
Okay.
We'll cross that
I mean,
bridge.
he's
when we need to.
immortal, so he's the
So-
ever survivor.
But the Frederico we met in episode 1 would be dead. We can talk about it.
I don't have that Frederico as a vampire, but I do have that his daughter, his baby daughter, is a vampire.
Oh God!
Whoa!
So she's like a
You think
toddler
she's-
vampire.
Yeah.
Do you think it's we
Yeah.
go by year in this?
Could just be as little as like his her eyes flash or something in the credits.
Goodness.
Who's the girl that
Like
kissed?
the rolling credits?
Who's the girl that kisses Spider-Man upside down in a
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst?
Yeah.
Isn't she in Interview with a Vampire and she's like a baby?
Yeah,
vampire?
she's like a preteen.
Yeah, I think she might. Yeah, she's
She's a
like
teen
a
vampire?
12-year-old vampire
No.
in Interview with a Vampire.
Never
So
seen
Yeah.
so
Which means someone turned. Is it Tom Cruise? Probably Tom Cruise.
yeah.
Turned a teenager into a vampire, which I feel like is definitely child molestation.
Well, you don't fuck them into vampires.
You suck sensually on their neck.
Yeah, I mean,
That's how I do it.
it's all.
That's how you turn people into vampires.
Okay, number 1. Seth and Richie, I think they're just making it to the vampire bar I think that's the finale.
They're
Oh,
just getting
wow.
I think
God.
all of
We
this
all have
is
very different
shenanigans
timelines,
in between.
there. Okay.
Um,
So they're not even making it to Mexico in this show, huh? They're still just in Texas.
well, I think the bar is in Mexico,
Well, how is
isn't it?
Desperado going to start if they don't make it to Mexico already?
That's a good point. No, but because he just said in this Seth Greco, what's his name?
Gecko.
Gecko Roman.
Seth Greco-Roman.
He said that they have to cross the border, and he's like bummed about that in this first episode. Okay, anyway, number 2, the Clooney guy kills the Tarantino guy. So what Josh said.
So
but
you're going with what I
I'm
said.
of mice and men style, like
He's not
look out into the.
he's not a big
gonna
mentally
pet-
handicapped guy.
He's got some mental
And
stuff.
also Lenny was a gentle giant. How dare you?
I think. Okay, I think that's how it's gonna go down. Like, oh, I love you, you're my brother. Kablam. Did he shoot him in Mice and Men? How does he kill him?
Old Yeller style?
Is he like looking the other way? He's got to shoot him, right? He's too big to like.
Wait, doesn't
he's
stab
not,
him
like,
to death?
He doesn't like try to choke him out because he's huge. Okay, number 3. Freddy. I had to cross some things out because Don was like dead, but then he like came back and then he's dead again, presumably. Freddy follow them to Mexico, and I think he catches the geckos in this in the end in this episode. Presumably just one of them because one's dead.
Okay. So geckos or one or more of geckos are going to jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone think that Freddy gets fingered in this?
Oh. Past tense.
Tom Green, anyway.
Number
Road
4.
trip.
Vampires kill everyone. That's my number 4.
Vampires kill everyone?
As in, like, do you think, like, the world is vampire world?
We'll know when we see it.
Okay.
Okay.
We got a lot of bridges to cross.
Number 5. No. Or sorry, I just remembered that we didn't see Danny Trejo in this pilot.
Nope.
And I assume we see him. That's not even like a prediction. I assume we're gonna see him.
Jimmy's 5th prediction is we didn't see Danny Trejo. I'm like, okay.
Well, I started to read my note that there was from episode 1 that there was no Danny Trejo. That's not my prediction or assumption, I guess.
All right, fair enough. Cool. Well, should we dive into the finale and see what happens with these vamps?
Let's get it.
Let's get vamped. Okay. See you after that, guys. And we're back, and we are done with
We're vampires.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
We got bit.
We got bit by the Hellgate bug. That's right. You gonna write it for us, Jim?
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna say things right or understand what's happening.
It's De Las de la Mortes.
Okay, so this is the finale, Dark Side of the Sun, November 1st, 2016.
That just means eclipse, apparently.
Yeah. With Amaru renewed in the flesh. I think that was is that the succubus lady?
I think so.
She's been renewed in the flesh. The Gecko brothers and the remainder of the team race against a pending eclipse to defeat her and close gates to Ixabalba. Okay. Richie is held captive by Amaru. Kate regains consciousness after briefly falling comatose. Carlos reveals he failed the ancient labyrinth at the Titty Twister.
Nice.
And made a deal with Ixalba for power. Ixabalba. Santanico decides to confront and fight Amaru. Meanwhile, Gonzalez takes his family to the local hospital for medical treatment, only for them to find a possessed Dakota and staff, and the group, with Kate's help, finishes off Amaru and seals the gate of Ixabalba. The Gecko brothers and Kate are then shown robbing a bank, and a ranger walks out of a ruined Ixabalba gate to give Amaru's amulet to Ranger Gary Willett, who's the dude from Prison Break.
Yep.
And other things.
Cool.
Supposedly.
So, first off, is Freddy didn't do anything in this episode at all.
No, he was at the hospital with his family.
Definitely in the entire show, and then he just went to the hospital and was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna fight any. I'm not gonna help fight or."
But also of note is like Freddy was with Seth in the beginning, so it seems like his goal is not to kill the Gecko brothers anymore.
Yeah, he was like next to them right at the beginning, and then all of a sudden he was in a hospital.
Yeah.
It's definitely on the same side.
Yeah, but then the rest of the episode is essentially them trying to fight the queen of the undead, or the queen of the underworld, as she's opening up a gate to hell.
Yep.
Like, I pretty much would have, if I would have been more specific about my predictions for what I thought the finale would be, it would be exactly that.
There's a gate that they have to close.
Yeah, they have to close the gate. Isn't this like the same finale to like Buffy? Like, isn't there a gate to hell in that too?
Yeah, it's the whole city of Sunnydale.
Yeah.
So they blow the whole city up.
Yeah.
And isn't that essentially the whole ending to the other vampire show we watched? The one with the Piccolo?
The Strain.
Yeah.
Was there a gate to hell?
Well, they had to use a bomb to blow up. Like it wasn't a gate. I guess it just had to blow up the big bad guy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It was
But
something
they, like,
underground that they had to blow up.
Yeah, they lured him underground to blow him up there. And then the reason why they did it because it was the only place they could use like a nuclear bomb
And not destroy
and
the
like
city.
not destroy the whole city.
Gotcha.
So they Buffy'd it and went, we should try to save the city. Where Buffy said, we should blow this entire city up.
F this city. The Hellmouth. Right?
Yep. Helmuth.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like Helmuth is always a thing that's going to show up in a vampire show.
It would be nice maybe if that wasn't something that showed up every single time. Or it was like the season 2 finale, you know? And then like the big bad was like, I'm a big bad and there's other things like, I don't know.
There's other mouths.
Necklaces or something that hold their power maybe.
There was some necklace at the end.
No,
what was
that's
that?
why I said that.
Amulet thing?
Yeah. So the big bad lady had like an amulet that they wanted.
Gotta tell you, very confused by all the lore and things going on. There was a
Or, like,
sword that seemed
who's
important.
a vampire and who's not.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I could not figure. Everybody had
Seemed
red
like they were
eyes.
good vampires.
Everybody had red eyes in this fucking episode. The only person that like didn't. There was only a couple people that didn't seem like they were vampires in a way, and that was like Freddy and his family and like Seth,
Yeah, maybe Seth, yeah.
because Seth never turned like red, but like Richie was like walking around in the sun and like burning up
Yeah.
at some point.
Oh,
He was
right.
essentially just like screaming, I'm a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was like that little guy that was with the boob buckle girl.
Yeah.
And like he was like
Booby McBuckles.
he first got like eaten by like people, and then he was totally fine, and then he got shot in the head, and then he was totally fine. And I'm like, so wait, is he a
Yeah. Or he's just really strong.
He's just a really strong-willed human.
He just really has the urge to live.
He's got Wolverine's
He's a real
powers.
go-getter.
So it was definitely confusing. This is definitely a show that you might have to watch all of it to understand the ending.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that's not really normal for a lot of shows
But
in my experience now.
there's a lot of characters and stuff we didn't know, but we still got the point that like, okay, they're shutting the Helmuth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lady from the first one who got the snake in her mouth.
She's like a vampire or something.
It wasn't that the lady?
I couldn't tell if that was who the bad
Yeah, was
guy
it the
lady was, or if that was
The good
guy lady.
I think that was good guy lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Booby
wait,
McBuckle.
okay. Booby McBuckle was good guy lady.
Okay.
Succubus was some other bad guy
that's
lady.
Santanico.
That's
was-
Santanico.
That was Booby McBuckle?
Yep.
Okay.
Her last name is Pandemonium.
Santanico Pandemonium.
Also, the little good guy, we don't know if he's a vampire or not. His name was just Scott. and redhead, or was she red?
Yeah.
Red hair?
Was she,
That
her name
was
Kate.
I mean,
Kate,
she-
and
she
they
died
both have
in-
the same last name. So assuming they're
Pandemonium?
brother and sister. No, sorry.
Oh.
Fuller.
I do
Fuller
remember
House.
during their fight that Santanico, when she was fighting Amaru, like the other like evil vampire, she was like, and this is why they call me Pandemonium or something. And I was like, what? Is that a nickname?
I didn't catch that.
But yeah, it must be her given name is
Surname.
Pandemonium.
Well, and that's why I started getting confused
Maiden
about
name.
who was a vampire or not. Because at first I thought, oh, they're just like being possessed and like turning red-eyed and like being evil. But then Santanico was in like that barn with all those people, and at first I just thought they were just people, you know. And then I was like, are they people or is just everybody a vampire in the world? And then they turned red-eyed and like tried to kill her, and then she climbed a ladder and then grew wings and turned into like a demon lady. And I was like, okay, they're vampires now. But then in the hospital, then just hospital workers just became red-eyed.
Right.
And I'm like, I think these are just people.
Yeah.
Just possessed humans.
So I think
Humes.
the succubus lady just can possess people.
Right,
No
yeah.
matter what. Even if they're vampire or people.
Right.
Human or vampire. Vampires are people too.
Yeah.
Are they?
I don't know. some people say dogs are people too. So
So some other people that were randomly in this was that like Mad Max Zolo guy.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there was a guy that just looked like he was straight like one of those like paint huffer guys from the new Mad Max.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just shirtless.
He was shirtless with tattoos. Looked like he
had
wanted
some
to
bro tats.
Looks like he wanted to drive around a like junked together car,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then he just
brutally murder some people.
got sucked into the devil door, and that was it for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much happened with him. He just got sucked in.
Yeah. And then Jake Busey, not sure what he was.
Not sure either. He also just got sucked in, right?
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
was definitely like
just a
he was
dude.
definitely like folded up into like broken bones, folded in rocks.
Oh yeah, he's got to be a vampire then,
And
right?
then he like unfolded himself, and eventually he was like, "Hey, what's up, Richie?" And he was like, "Cool,
Mm-hmm.
you want to help me with this?"
Yeah.
So,
How do they end up shutting it? Kate walks through the gate.
well, so that was the thing that didn't quite make sense
Uh-huh.
because Kate was like, "I figured out how to to shut it. I just go through it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it like shuts." But then she went through it, and it didn't shut, and it just waited until Richie and her came out, because Richie was already in it.
He's already in it, and he somehow just walked out.
And then he just walked out with her,
Uh-huh.
and then it still stayed open,
Mhm.
and then they shoved the succubus lady through it, the big bad
Yeah.
queen lady, and then it shut.
The hands burst through her stomach and shoved her through the hellmouth.
Yeah, and then that's how
For
it
some
shut.
reason.
And it's like, wait, what? Because they were making it so like, oh, if you go through it, if not Santanico, if
Kate.
red-haired Kate, if Kate goes through it, then she's gonna die,
Yeah.
and then the gate's gonna get shut.
Because somehow
Or
she
something.
was like,
Or she's just gonna get stuck over there, because it just seemed it was just another world, you know.
yeah. Somehow she was like one with. This was like how they were gonna beat what is it?
Amaru.
Amaru?
Amaru. Was that they're like connected, so if she sends herself to hell,
Yeah.
then they'll beat Amaru. And she
Yeah.
just walked right.
They
the
explained certain things, and then
Those things didn't
Yeah.
happen. How they
Unexplained.
follow through with the explanation.
Right.
And then when she walked back out of hell with Richie, the other characters weren't like, "Oh shit, it's Richie! What happened, man?" They were just like, "Hey."
Right, yeah. No one
This is normal.
no one that was in that room knew that he was over there.
Yeah.
Right. They were like, wait. where-
Because
what?
everybody that was in the room when
She
he
said
went over
something
there
about Richie.
also got sucked into the thing.
Yeah.
So
So he just walked back out, and they're just like,
and she's like, "Yo, guys, I found Richie. He was in the
He
door.
was in hell.
He was
This whole
"What a
time.
coincidence!"
he was in Iggy Azalea's gate."
Look who I found.
Yeah. So
What if she hadn't realized he was in there? He'd just still be in there.
So, I mean, you know, it's possible that it wouldn't be true if I watched the whole thing, but I would say the lore seemed pretty solid and tight right up until the end when they seemed to get a little loosey-goosey on it.
yeah.
When they say, yeah, it's weird when shows say things are going to happen,
Yeah.
and then it's fine if they don't happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are talking about how this is how it ends and this is how you do it,
Yeah.
and then it
you
doesn't,
flip it around, and then
and
do
then
some
you
other
don't
things.
explain it,
It feels like they maybe overwrote it. Like they had an idea, and then they're like, "Wait, but what if we flip it and this happens?" And then they're like, "But what if we flip that and this happens?"
well, because
It just took a bunch of turns.
wasn't like Richie in there to like, wasn't he like getting some? Did he get a power? What was happening?
No, he got sucked in
He just got sucked. Wasn't he doing anything in there?
because like Jake Busey sucked him in there.
But he was like talking.
He was talking to Wilmer in there, and Wilmer said something about like, "You gotta go save people," and he was like, "Okay."
So confused.
Yeah, there was just like a lot
And
of
he was initially trying to kill Amaru
yeah. They're all trying to kill
with a
him.
knife of some kind.
Yeah, they
She
just
beat him
threw
immediately.
like a lot of different things at this ending, and they all just sort of globbed together, and then they all just walk away.
They all presumably made sense for everybody watching this show the whole time.
No, I think it's kind of like the finale to Limitless, where it's just like, this is too complicated for what this just should have been. Of like, they just need to shove her through the portal. Like that should have been the plot of this.
They could have done a good job in the end of Limitless, and they could have somehow. I mean, that'd have been really good writing, but they could have been like, "This is too difficult for you to understand because you don't take a pill, viewer." You know.
Yeah,
But in this show, it was like, vampire gods and devils, and the gates closed.
Yeah.
But somehow the necklace got pooped back out.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's
just a whatever thing.
It is, but it's also like when you have supernatural stuff like this, like you got to have rules because that's the way that like the audience can understand what's happening.
Right. Well, I mean, in general, going back to Supernatural Watch 2018.
Yeah.
Not that I've seen. I don't need to watch.
You haven't seen
I
any
haven't
of this
seen any of the
season?
new season yet, but you know, they like half the season is them like they got a big bad. They try to figure out how to beat the big bad.
Okay.
They go to beat the big bad. Shit happens. They go through the door, but it doesn't close. You know, then they have to like twist it and figure it out, and then they finally succeed.
Sure.
And then like an object or a like baby or you know like something like poops itself out of whatever just happened.
Yeah.
And then that leads to whatever the big bad next season's going to be. You know, so there's always like the amulet at the end.
Of course, but I mean
that's you know, and that's.
But there's like a reason why their plan doesn't work. They fail in some way.
And that's what
but
I'm
there's
saying.
a reason.
And that's what I'm saying. You understand what's
Right.
happening,
Uh-huh.
and if you don't, then there's another episode,
Yeah.
or like some more exposition. At least we're like, wait, what? And then
Yeah.
they're like, we'll figure it out. You know, kind of thing. Like even literally that.
Uh-huh.
Like, wait a minute, you were supposed to go through the door and not
Yeah.
come back. And she's like, fucking right. Like even literally even like that line would have been like, yeah, right. I thought I was gonna die.
Well, it's even the characters were confused because there's a point where Richie, like while Kate's like gonna go walk through the door, Richie's like, "Don't you do it! I'm gonna shoot you!" And then she just like keeps walking, and she says something else to him, and he's like, "Oh wait, yeah, actually a good idea. Walk through the door." And he like puts down the gun.
I mean, I was actually kind of fine with that because he was finally like, okay, this is how it has to be, and I'm just like gonna fuck everything up if I like don't let you do this.
Yeah.
And then she walked in and out of the door, and nothing happened.
But then nothing happens. Though it's fine.
Until the devil hands were like, "No, we got this." So.
Yeah, I'm just so confused.
I am the other thing. The other thing I want to talk about is I thought about this right at the beginning because obviously, like, right at the beginning of this episode, everything's like batshit. They're just like sects of people fighting monsters, fighting like things or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of this, I mean, omit like the Richie just like seeing demons, you know, in his head kind of thing,
Like he does.
in the first episode. Omit just that part. The show is about two people just trying to get to Mexico for like drugs. And like Carlos wasn't helping them even do that in the first episode. He's like, I can't help you. You just got to figure out how to get to this one spot. Like just the like pathway of how the show gets from the start of like we're just bank robbers all the way to like we are like four kind of separate groups of people fighting to save the world against
We're
monsters.
superheroes.
I like that path.
In 30 episodes. It's impressive.
It's not a lot of time, really.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
10 episode
I mean, and that
seasons.
like you know that's kind of what I expected after the first episode is that they're gonna like get out of this like bank robber like real world stuff pretty quickly and just go straight into like fighting monsters now.
I still hope that they milk it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like 5 episodes in the first season at least, and like the only thing that's supernatural really about it is that Richie like sees shit. But in that, I mean, at that point anyway, it's just kind of like, is this a show about monsters or is this just a show about two brothers and one has mental illness? You know.
Yeah, if this show or movie would be done now, it'd just be that he's on the spectrum.
Because if you have autism, you see demons.
Like he's really smart and like logical, but like obviously misses some social cues, like not being weird in little marts to ladies.
I mean, he killed a guy. Is
Oh, yeah, that too.
That's a
No, for sure that as well.
I don't call that.
I was uncomfortable with it.
It's not
Personally.
the way you approach social situations.
That's just not me, but
I generally refer to murder as being a little weird.
I still want to know what the little thing. It was like a little like knife handle or something that Don Johnson found in the bathroom that Seth left
It's just Seth's
on
knife.
the sink.
It's just a knife, yeah.
It's a knife, but it
thought
looked like Seth specifically like put it there and was like, "I'm leaving this behind." It looked like Mayan also to me, but maybe it's just because we had that vibe going on.
It had a bone hilt. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that Richie had pulled that out in this last episode. No, was that just a different?
Is
knife?
that what he could?
It could have been the knife. I mean, because
I would like if it were to be the knife.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was, but I guess there's no reason it has to be. We got a lot of knives.
or no way to check. No possible way for us.
Maybe he's a mystical
You
knife.
have to watch all.
Maybe it was
30
a
episodes.
mystical knife that he picked up, and that's why Snake Lady was speaking to him. It's some sort of magic knife.
Hmm.
Who's to say? I don't know anything about what's going on as far as the mysticality of the show.
Hey, I just want to point this out. I'm interested in this show. I think I'm going to watch the second episode.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm interested in
That's
the
the spirit.
I'm interested in the path this takes. I think it's going to get a little too silly
Mm-hmm.
towards the end, or maybe 3 episodes into the first season. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to get a little like it was pretty silly.
Yeah, pretty silly.
But I mean, if Boob Buckle Lady hangs out, I mean, you know.
I assume she does because she was in the first and last episode.
But no, I think it has the tone of the first episode for a while. I think it could suck me in long enough to then just kind of go through the silly monster demon gate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
After we're done recording, I'm going to go to the gym and probably run for a little bit. I might put on the second episode while I'm there.
Nice.
Update next week.
I'm interested as well. I'm not like stop everything else I'm watching and start watching this interested.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely like, once I get through some stuff, probably turn this on at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, you staying far away from this?
Yeah. I think just because like I've seen the end and it just gets to like the logical end point. They're shutting the Hellmouth. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to believe that the first season gets a little more grindhousey.
Yeah.
Like on the road, in the desert, some weird stuff goes down.
Mm-hmm. I think another thing is I wasn't into. I feel like with a show like this, like I gotta be like on board with at least one of the characters. Like I want to hang out with this dude for 40 minutes a week, and there was no one. I mean, especially in the first episode, like just there was no characters that I was just like, ugh.
I was into Richie.
You're into Richie?
I was just into him. Well, I mean, because he's the. I mean, this show doesn't exist really unless Richie is in this show.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that like caused the entire first episode to happen.
Like sees demons and stuff.
Well, no, just like decides to go shoot somebody.
He's the wild card.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, he's the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to, the next episode, in the second episode of the show,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to drive down the road and go to a diner. And then he's going to shoot the cashier because he thinks there's like she's got a bat head, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so he's just too off the rocker that I'm like, okay, I want to see what this guy's up to every week.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my guy from the first episode that I was like, I'll take this journey along with him.
Yeah, I didn't really have a guy.
I had Don Johnson. He was killed.
And he's dead.
Maybe he got like vampired
Set
back alive though.
ablaze.
You know,
I don't think so. I think he died. I think he's dead.
I'm gonna look it up. I mean, I don't.
How
think
did he even stay alive
not
that
gonna
entire
Google.
episode? He got shot through the chest. Like, you'd have to puncture a lung.
Yeah, he's bleeding pretty good.
Yeah.
He stood back up and shot. he
should've
caught a
been dead.
gun in midair.
Not only he was in, you'd assume, great pain.
Yeah.
And then he pretended to die
Mm-hmm.
and sat there quietly while dealing with that immense amount of pain,
Mm-hmm.
just focusing on someone saying, "Here you go," like as a gun comes over, like counter overhead.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Joe, lay on the ground on your back, close your eyes, and I'm gonna stand above your head, and I'm just gonna throw a tennis ball up,
And see if
and
I
I'm
can
gonna
catch
say, "Joe," and I bet that ball hits you in the face.
I think his eyes were open.
No, it showed him close his eyes when he fake died.
Oh, sure. That's right. I forgot he was fake dead at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Man, a lot of fake dying. Danny Trejo was in this for 7 episodes.
There you go.
Don Johnson was in this for 7 episodes.
Okay.
That doesn't mean there wasn't just
Like a flashback.
flashbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flashing in here.
I don't want to break this to you, Jimmy, but he could be in it for 30 episodes. Well, 29. He wasn't in the last one, but
Yeah.
could have just all been flashbacks.
What do you think about the ending where the Gecko brothers plus Kate go and just rob a bank?
I'm fine with it. It's bookmarks or bookends.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good it's just what they do. Presumably before the first episode, like they had a life of crime anyway, you know, and this was a big payoff, and that's why this whole thing started.
Yeah.
And they got done, and they're just like, fuck it, let's just keep robbing shit.
You would think that they would have some perspective in their lives now that they've seen demons and literally been to hell and back.
Probably take a break.
You'd think you just like, hey, maybe just stop knocking over banks and maybe we could like, I don't know.
Move to the Pacific Northwest and get a cabin? What?
Like, I don't know that necessarily they're going to fight demons, but like maybe they could write a book about their demon experience and sell that.
And they're like, no, this is nonfiction. And everyone's like,
this happened in Mexico.
This is just Twilight. What do you? This is just a gory Twilight.
It's like, no, they don't sparkle, but there was an eclipse.
They don't sparkle, but they don't burst immediately into flame. They can make a run for it.
Like Richie's still a vampire, right? So like,
well, that's what who is he? I don't even know. You know,
are they all just like back to humans because Amuro went back into the gate?
I don't know.
Because they were robbing the bank during daytime and he wasn't burning up.
He was inside at that point.
He was also wearing sunglasses. Maybe Ray-Bans like kind of block out the sun.
As long as your eyes can't see sun, you don't burn.
You're fine.
They banned the rays from your face.
Exactly. All right, predictions.
Oh, we haven't done that yet? Oh my
No.
god.
I'll run through mine really quick. Federico is a vampire. You don't have anything to say he was.
Probably
so no.
not.
Seth kills Richard. Neither one of them die, so no. Sexy vampire succubus. Check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, the one I wanted the most, no bazookas.
No.
Or grenades, launchers, or artillery.
There wasn't really
There
explosions.
wasn't really any explosions. So, I'll take 1 point, though.
I had that the big bad is a lady vampire. True. There's a Piccolo vampire, which I think Pandemonium was a vampire, and she was fighting with the good guys. I'd call her a Piccolo.
I'll give you that because, yeah, it's like Seth, in my opinion, if anybody wasn't a vampire, Seth wasn't a vampire. And he was, like, in charge of the good guys. And I'm not even sure if that red-haired pale girl was even a vampire.
I don't think so, no.
Because he, like, blood transfused her. And I feel like that's, I don't know.
I have Frederico is the sole survivor. He survives, but not I mean, there's other survivors.
There's plenty of other people alive.
And Frederico's daughter is a vampire, which I was hoping was going to show up in like a post-credit scene, but
like
did not.
He held her in his arms, like on his shoulder the whole time, and then eventually, like, it just pans around and she goes, like,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. She just like
just hisses.
She smiles and like you see her fangs.
Yeah, that'd be funny. All right, so you got 2.
Yeah.
All right, good week, buddy.
Yeah.
Dang.
Spaghetti.
Man. All right, so Seth and Richie make it to the vampire bar. They were clearly well beyond that world, well into that universe. Okay, number 2, Clooney guy kills Tarantino guy.
Nope.
Of Mice and Men style. Freddy follows them to Mexico and catches the geckos. He's very possibly on their side at this point. Number 4, vampires kill everyone.
Nope.
No.
And people lived.
Did anyone die in this episode?
I mean,
Over and over, but I mean, lots of randoms died in the hospital.
Yeah, I guess, but no like good guys died, huh?
well, they were hospital workers are good guys, Joe.
No main characters.
There
died,
you go.
I guess.
All right. No, I
Like
would
not
say
even Wilmer.
if you would
Carlos.
I mean, the only main character in a way would be the queen lady,
Yeah.
Roomba.
Arumba, but she just went back to hell. Like I feel like that's like where she lives.
She got,
She's fine.
but
She just went home.
She got. Okay, fair. Yeah, she just was like, all right, vacation's over, back to hell, back to Iggy Azalea's house. Cool.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. 6-6.
You're really happy about 6-6.
I'm trying to make it a thing.
Okay.
Trying to make it happen.
So in 600 episodes, you'll get your wish?
Oh man, what are we gonna watch that day?
Don't know. Maybe I'll entitle this episode 66, and then in parentheses I'll put a 6 just to appease you.
Cool.
Appreciate that.
I said maybe.
Yeah, and I would appreciate it.
Fair enough. Hey, everybody. Speaking of appreciation, we'd appreciate you if you rated us 5 stars somewhere and said how dope Jimmy's idea for episode 66 was. Cool.
Just like write that down on a napkin.
Write it.
5 stars.
Write it down on a napkin, throw it in the street, but write FNL podcast on it. Hopefully someone picks it up, looks us up.
Leave it at your table at the Taco Bell.
Street warfare.
For the next guy.
Guerrilla marketing. Go.
Street team.
Street team. You're now listeners. You're now our street team
on the streets.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with another TV show, because that's how this works. Until then, have a good week. Okay, bye. Just me saying goodbye again.
Just you.